You know, it's late, so I'm going to do a more relaxed format as I have been doing, just showing you what's going on. What's going on as far as content, as far as it would take me hours upon hours, like I used to do, to actually put it together, and I simply don't have the time for that. So I've done it in years past, and it was a lot of good information. So, but this time we're just little snapshots here and there of what's going on. Let's take a look at this, for instance. An organization with confirmed ties to George Soros and the Open Society Foundations has been running a covert recruitment effort for a paramilitary style street unit to ignite chaos and escalate tensions in LA following President Trump's decision to deploy the National Guard. A recently uncovered Craigslist advertisement posted under the innocuous title Operator offers eye-opening or eye-popping weekly compensation of $6,500 to $12,500 per week for, they call them individual, for anyone, I'm going to call you a piece of shit. For any piece of shit that's willing to sell this country out and also willing to enter dangerous situations. In other words, on Craigslist, this George Soros and Open Society Foundations, or an organization tied to George Soros, or I call him George Soros, has been posting an ad on Craigslist saying if you want to get paid anywhere from $6,500 to $12,500 a week, you got to be willing to destroy things, enter seriously dangerous situations, and and they're looking for the toughest dudes in the area. So this is all organized. Of course, you should already know this by now. This is nothing about this is organic. They've been saying that for quite some time. I've even mentioned it along the way, if you've been paying attention, that summer of 2025 is going to be summer of love, put down quotes, peaceful protest 2.0, and here we are. This is all orchestrated. Of course, fake news. I don't know if anybody's actually talking about this, but look at this ad. Literally, this is not organic. This is all done to destabilize America. Those the open border thing was an invasion. That's what that was. An organized, deliberate invasion of mostly men of military age, not in uniforms, from the countries that they come from, come in here and do what they're doing. And then you got I saw a fake news clip of this Mexican saying that the reason why they're doing this in LA is because ICE is breaking up families and all this, and we have a right to be here. This is our country to begin with, and you know, the Europeans came in here and took it over, but we were here first, and blah 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 blah. First of all, if you're here legally, ICE is not going to come around you up. So there's that. If you're here illegally and you have a family and they're coming around you up, it is what it is. You put yourself in that position, idiots. I don't know what part of legal do you not understand. Looking for the toughest badasses in the city, Los Angeles. Seeking extremely tough, brave men for a new crew I'm building. You see the price right there, right? We're forming a select team of the toughest dudes in the area. This unit will be activated only when the situation demands, but you get paid every week no matter what. It's a high pressure, high risk, no room for hesitation. We need individuals who do not break, panic, or fold under stress and are basically all around kick-ass dudes. Well, you're not going to get that physical strength, speed, conditioning, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Well, you're not going to get, first of all, you're not going to get alpha males to do these things. These, what applies for this are weak as water soy boys, the Antifa types, okay? The POS idiot little skinny jean wearing fags that have their handkerchiefs over their face, hiding their identities, okay? Little skinny waist, weak as water. They're not tough. As soon as you start fighting back, alpha males, if they confront you, they get clobbered. All right? They're not tough. But this is what they're recruiting, the soy boys. And these soy boys obviously live here in America, right? Because there isn't an Antifa element to this, okay? There's like whites. Antifa is comprised mostly of whites, and they're Americans, right? Or were born here. I don't call you a real American. But the fact is you do have these Antifa types that are recruited for this, that are going to be in part of this. That's why you'll see a lot of Antifa mixed in this, along with the invaders. We're recruiting those who are already hard, badass, and ready for confrontation. How this is even to be allowed is, it's just laughable, but it's not laughable. It's a bad joke, okay? I could say this is a big joke, but it's a bad joke, all right? And we all gonna have to sooner or later deal with it. They want to bring this shit to our doorstep. And listen to this. A riot organizer confirms war on USA. The chaos in Los Angeles is both an insurrection and a foreign invasion. All right? Listen to this libtarded platform called Democracy Now!, where Ron Gochez, I never even heard of that as a Hispanic last name. Gochez? Okay. So this Ron Gochez was on this libtarded Democracy Now! He's also a Los Angeles public school teacher, indoctrinator, a community organizer like Obama, associated with the Marxist Union del Barrio. I mentioned that in last night's video, Union del Barrio. So this Ron Gochez is associated with the Marxist Union del Barrio and a riot organizer. And he explains that our land, America belongs to the Mexicanos, not Americans. So they're going to take it back. And then he wants to blame ICE for breaking up families. They're not there breaking up families that are legit, okay? Idiots. But here's this piece of crap, lying public school teacher.
Good morning. Thank you for having me today.
And indoctrinator and his bullshit propaganda.
This weekend was marked with absolute and total violence, brutal repression, and attacks, coordinated attacks against our community. ICE agents have been around all over Southern California, kidnapping people, tearing apart families, and we see
this guy's a liar, man. They're not doing that. They're just getting the ones that are illegals. They're going after the cartels, if you want to be honest. A lot of it's cartels, but
as an attack against our people. And so that's why you see young people, the community coming out and resisting this repression. We are tired, sick and tired of these attacks that are dividing and separate.
You're the ones that are in the streets doing all this shit. You're the ones that are actually part of this organized, not organic, organized riots in the street, okay? So you're a bunch of crap. If you weren't in the streets, if you weren't doing these things, listen, they're going after the illegals. What part of illegal, okay, do you not understand, idiot?
Raiding our families. And so that's why when we have these protests, they have been peaceful. But
no, they have not.
When
you're taking over bridges, you're taking over entire cities. None of this has been peaceful at all. Your Palestinian flags, your Mexican flags. If you love Mexico so much, if you love Gaza and Palestinians so much, fucking go over there. All right, but the fact is you like America, but yet you wave your Mexican flag, so fuck off.
Repression comes from the state, whether it's the sheriffs, the LAPD, or on Saturday, for example, in Paramount, California, it was the Border Patrol. It was brutal violence.
Joke.
They shot thousands of rounds of tear gas.
They're not shooting thousands of rounds of tear gas unless you're unless you're being violent, asshole. Let's get this right, fake news, okay? They're not out there shooting just random people that are just marching peacefully, You assholes are being violent. One video after another of you morons committing violence, all right? Taking over streets and shit like that. So eventually, I guess they're going to come out and give you what for, idiot.
Flashbang grenades, of all kinds of repressive instruments used against the community. But what they didn't
it's not against the community. It's assholes like this with their muzzles on. These paid protesters, bitch.
Think was going to happen was that the people would resist and would fight back. And that's exactly what happened in Paramount and in Compton, California, where for 8.5 hours, the people combated in the streets against the Border Patrol. And after
if you're illegal, you have no business being here. To begin with.
8.5 hours of battle, and it was a battle because there were people throwing back tear gas, people throwing anything that they could to defend themselves and to defend the workers that were being surrounded by over 100 Border Patrol agents. After 8.5.
If you're illegal, I don't give a damn if you're at work, quote unquote, being productive. You're illegal, idiot.
Hours, the Border Patrol. The sheriffs had to retreat. They had to retreat because of the fierce resistance of the community, and the hundreds of workers that were in the factories around them were able.
It's a psychological operation.
to escape. They were able to go to their cars and go home. That was only thanks to the resistance that allowed them to go home that night. And so that is one clear sign.
Education, no deportation. Well, there's no deportation if you're fucking legal, pendejos. No, this video isn't like my videos used to be. Like I would piece everything together in order. It's just random, but I just came across this. It's random in some the clips that I'm showing you somewhat. That's how I feel anyway, compared to what I used to do. But it's not random because the common theme is we're under siege, we're under attack, we're under siege, we're under attack. This is all done by design. This is all coordinated. Take a look at this. Are you JK and me? Mostly peaceful. An Al-Qaeda leader named Syed bin Atef al-Al. Laura Luma posted this. I can't even pronounce it. I'll just show you. Now it's time to crack down on jihadis in America. Mass deport all of them. Listen to this. Listen. So now we got this nonsense starting.
ثم إننا ندعو ومن الآن كإجراء عملي أولي كل مسلم على أرض أمريكا الكافرة المجرمة المتغطرسة سواء أكان من أصول عربية أم أمريكية أو غيرها المهم أن يكون دينه الإسلام ونبيه محمدا عليه الصلاة والسلام والذين بلغ تعدادهم 4.5 مليون مسلما في أمريكا وحدها نقول لهم جميعا الثأر لا تشاوروا أحدا في قتل الأمريكان الكفرة ولتكن همتكم كبيرة وقائمة استهدافاتكم مؤثرة فدونكم.
Let me rewind that. I know. I'm holding my phone to the fucking desktop.
استهدافاتكم مؤثرة.
Let me rewind it because I want you to get the whole.
ولتكن همتكم كبيرة.
You should have a lot of determination and a list of your targets. Should be effective.
وقائمة استهدافاتكم مؤثرة فدونكم.
Go after the scum of the earth and its greatest criminals. He's referring to America. That's what it is.
عتاة الأرض وأكابر مجرميها فهذا ترامب ونائبه.
So they're going to try to assassinate them, or that's the story goes.
وهذا مستشاره وداعمه ماليا وإداريا وتقنيا إيلون ماسك وهذان وزيرا خارجيته ودفاعه وأهلوهم أجمعين وكل من يمت لساسة البيت الأبيض بصلة أو قرابة. ثم إننا
Violent riots, and I mentioned this. All right, so we got violent riots have now been reported in American cities, 30 of them. I am one of, I don't know, many, several, whatever, that mentioned this along the way in months past in videos saying this is what they're going to have in summer of 2025. Maybe I did it as a fast read. I don't even remember, but I know I mentioned this, okay? This is why I'm not a surprise. This is all orchestrated. Albertville, Alabama, Aurora, Colorado, Houston, Texas, San Antonio, Dallas, Texas, Fort Worth, Texas, Pflugerville, Texas, Phoenix, Arizona, Denver, Colorado, Salt Lake City, Utah, Seattle, Washington, Portland, Oregon, Chicago, Illinois, Indianapolis, Indiana, Detroit, Michigan, St. Louis, Missouri, Cincinnati, Ohio, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, New York, Washington, D.C., Atlanta. I'm going to show you a clip of that. Atlanta, war zone. Yeah. Okay. Charlotte, North Carolina, Richmond, Virginia, Minneapolis, Minnesota, St. Paul, Minnesota, Las Vegas, Nevada, New Orleans, Louisiana, Boston, Massachusetts, Santa Fe. How about I just show it to you? Feel free to press the pause button. I hope you can see that. I think I might have lost that clip of Atlanta being a war zone, but I want to show you. I'll try to find it. But in the meantime, meet the two prime suspects for organizing and funding the LA riots. Two radical commies, Leah Greenberg. Is that? Bitchu, can you help me out? Is that it? And Ezra Levin, both atheist communists. These two pathetic creatures are so-called founders of the radical foundation Indivisible. They are also behind the radical anti-American organization NoKings.org. Just check them out. All right. Let's see here. NoKings.org trains radicals on how to organize, protest, and incite riots. These despicable groups are well funded through numerous organizations like USAID and other NGOs and some Soros foundations. These commies and all who sponsors them need to be exposed. They need to be more than exposed. They need to be arrested, to say the very least. So you know that these two supposedly organized the LA riots and funded the LA riots? How much money do they have to fund this? But if you want to check that out, that's X Hutton, America's Back. This is so damn stupid and retarded. Then you got this. Seattle extremist says, remember what I was telling you just last night? I hadn't even heard of these particular details yet, but I've been observing things closely for a long time. You'd not believe the corruption. Trump's border czar Tom Homan revealed that the raids that sparked the violent LA riots were not for illegal purposes. Homan explained that the raids that took place in downtown LA on Friday were part of a criminal investigation into a money laundering scheme and cartel activity. It wasn't an immigration raid. It was to service of three criminal warrants at locations based on a large criminal conspiracy that ICE is investigating, Homan said on Microsoft LSD. Fake news, because they be tripping over there. So they weren't rounding up families. This had to do with cartels, criminal warrants at certain locations based on large criminal conspiracy and cartels. Been saying this for a long time. This is an invasion, an insurrection. But now you got your boy Tim Pool. Tim to the Pool. Is that his name? He's gonna say the same thing. Alright, so let's take a look. Let's take a look again.
It's an insurrection. It's an invasion. It's people who are flying Mexican flags, not American flags. In fact, in this video, check it out, he's burning the American flag and saying he's from Mexico.
Viva la Raza, man! Chico! More, I'll find the Atlanta one, but it looks like a war zone, Atlanta. I gave you the list of 30 cities that this crap is popping off in, and this has all been done by design. I wanted to get into some empty shells, and because there's so much information hitting us at once, more than ever, way more than when the scamdemic broke out. I think that's the reason why I can't keep up with the format that I used to do. It's just too much. So I'm going to give you boom, 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 just like this. Just freestyle. You know, like rappers do? You know, kind of freestyle. I'm going to freestyle my videos just on the fly, just as best I can. Comrade Nuisance requests emergency restraining order against Trump for use of military. Oh, so he's trying to put a stop to the military being over there. I'm not a big fan of the military being on the streets. But I mean, at this point, you knew it was coming. We knew what they wanted to do, and what are you going to do? You can do nothing or something? Somebody? Anybody? I don't know. Mexican man has a van full of amigos, all right, in the back of the van. Border Patrol pulls him over for breaking a traffic law. It almost looks staged. I don't know. None of them have IDs, of course. Now listen, before I go any further, or further, as they say in the South, I watch a lot of cop videos on YouTube, different channels. I would say 9.5 out of 10 times. I'll say 9 out of 10 times. I'll be a little generous there. 9 out of 10 times, they never have ID. Never have their ID. They get pulled over. The cop says, I can't have your ID. They don't have it. I have no ID, they say. 9 out of 10 times. Ridiculous. So you have this Mexican man has a van full of Mexican men in the back. Border Patrol pulls them over for breaking a traffic law. None of them have IDs in the back, and all of them refuse to speak to the officers. I'll give you a taste of this insanity. It's just one stupid thing after another. That's why I can't keep up. And I'm still partially under the weather, and I'm getting tired sooner than later lately because of that, and because I still keep going forward. And
you are not getting that information.
Mira.
Here we come. That boys, you break my window. Yes, sir, officer.
How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good.
Stand on here?
Huh?
You mind if I stand on
You
here?
can do whatever you want, man.
So I can hear you better?
Yeah, you good? You good?
Oh, be in this bag. Hey, brother, how you doing?
Doing good, man.
Agent Bowers with the United States Border Patrol.
Okay.
I understand the ag guys pulled you over for bypassing
The agriculture.
Okay. And they explained to you that you have to stop for those when you're in the big box truck
Yes,
like
they
this?
they did explain to me.
Okay, awesome. And from what I understand, you advised that your passengers do not have IDs.
I did not say that. I said I don't know if they do or not. Or
they don't.
Okay.
That's
do
what
they
I
have
said.
IDs? Can you roll down the window so we can talk?
No, we're good. No, you don't need to talk to nobody in this truck, mister. I already told your friends that you don't need to talk to nobody in this truck. I'm driving. If you want to talk to me, you can talk to me. But that's it.
At this point in time, we do have legal authority to identify the passengers, especially when they're not talking and you're running the show here.
Okay,
Because
I'm driving, so I thought that whoever drives has authority. So I don't know what else to tell you, my boy.
Absolutely, but when Border Patrol's on scene, we absolutely.
The current riots forming now, or the current terrorism forming now, it's a big resemblance to the Antifa, or I call them Antiqua because they're antiquated, they're outdated, they're retarded, they're stupid, they're moronic, they're idiots. But I digress. What's happening now looks like the Antifa, BLM race riots from George Soros organizations that happened like 8 years ago. This also looks like the Summer of Love 2.0. This also looks like predictive programming coming to fruition. Talked about this when a Civil War movie came out last year. We've talked about this and how I came across information saying by the summer of 2025 that they wanted this to happen, and they're doing it. They are doing it. So I'm gonna leave it right there. I'll keep you informed as best I can. I'm trying to enjoy my life a little bit more. Getting into baseball big time. Decompress. And that's important. We all have to decompress. And I think that's part of the reason why I'm kind of run down is I haven't decompressed like I should. And I'm trying to. But I still want to get the information out because time is running short. They want this to come to our doorstep. And I've been saying this for a long time. They want this to come to a town, neighborhood near you. Point at your bows. You. They said, what you gonna do about it? I've said this for the longest time. During the invasion, I said, came across information recommending, talk to your local law enforcement, talk to your sheriff's department, and see where their head's at in all this. I haven't even done that yet. I mentioned it along the way at some shindig where the police were, but a couple of years ago, but in one ear and out the other. So there's that. Relax a little bit. I'm tired. I'll see you next time. It's unbelievable. I got a friend that messaged me. His younger sister, 46, just died of the C word that rhymed with answer, along with his grandmother. And I wondered if his sister took this. I asked him that, so I'm gonna wait his response. So I'm gonna take care of that. All right, don't be a troll out there. All right, point at your big bows, your boardy nose. Don't be a troll out there. See you next time on Shock Treatment.